Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the international version of the Player's Edge podcast. Tom and I like doing the Royal Ascot so much that we decided we're going to do a weekly highlight of some international races. And we're going to do some in Ireland, but I'm not quite sure which ones we're doing.
Yes,
maybe Tom can straighten that out a little bit for us.
Yeah, well, we're going to do the Gaines Railway Stakes. It's the 305 from the Curragh. And these are all Curragh races in Ireland. We're going to do the 345, which is the Irish Derby. And we're going to do the 420, which is the Arm Holding International Stakes. These are all Saturday races. And then on Sunday, we are going to do the Pretty Polly, which is a Group 1 also, and that is at 3:40. So if you're Central Time people, 6 hours. Subtract 6 hours and you got the right time.
So we're going to start with the Arm International one. That's because that's the one I'm absolutely the most confused in. And I did the handicap, and I think all the horses I picked actually scratched. So that makes it pretty easy for me to kind of sit this one out. Let Tom go ahead and walk you through the race and tell you what he thinks.
Well, right, we have 12 runners in this race. They're an interesting bunch, to say the least. These are older horses, and this is a mixed race, so we can have anything from colts, geldings, fillies, mares. Anything is allowed. It can run in this race. Currently, the favorite with William Hill is Cadillac, the number 8. But I picked now the number 6, True Self, is my second choice, and then my first choice is the Dawn Patrol, which is the number 1 horse. Dawn Patrol hasn't raced in a while, since October, but it's won at distances of 1 1/8 to 2 miles. 2 miles was a Group 3 race at the end of the flat season, in Ireland. So this is a short race, but this is a good place to put her in, and I think that she's got a really nice chance in here. And the thing is with her is that she's definitely going to be fit. The trainer knows what he's doing, and this is not a bottom horse, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be interesting. The number 6 is True Self. She won at first asking in February in a condition race in Saudi Arabia, and she beat the Ellipse winner here in North America, Channel Maker. So
that's a good horse.
That's a good horse, yes.
Mm-hmm.
She's had some time off since then, came back in May and ran in a Group 1 event and finished 3rd. Frankly, when watching the replay of that race, she didn't have any chance of getting to those winners. Now she's going to drop back into a Group 3 race where she's won before, and she appears to be in good fit condition. You can always the thing I have with her is she going to be able to finish? And in the past, she's had some mixed results. And the reason I say that is because this is a horse that's been racing since 2016, and she's won 2 hurdle races. So she's a flat runner and a hurdle runner. So it's kind
talented.
of yeah. Well, and she beat Channel Maker. So
mm-hmm.
So you guys got to figure that one out. I think she's got the form for this level. So I mean, between the two of them, you're going to definitely get a little better odds on Dawn Patrol. Right now, William Hill is at 11-1. True Self 7-2, and that seems to be about where I think she's going to land. She may go down a little, but not much.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess I didn't have any all the picks I had made scratch for this race. The only one that I had listed that didn't scratch but didn't make my final picks was Dawn Patrol. So I guess I have to go with Dawn Patrol, and that's it. So, well, what are you going to do? That's the way it works, right? This international racing is a little bit different than what we have here. These tons of horses in the program, and then so you got to handicap them all, and then a lot of them get tossed out, and you got to kind of start all over again, which is kind of fun, no?
It requires a little work, but you get a preliminary because they do the entries like here, but we don't see them. The only time you can ever see entries, at least I have, is I know that Churchill Downs on their website you can download who's been entered into that race ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that, you don't really get much information.
Or if you're Linda Rice, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a little different. It's a little extra bonus there.
Yeah, that's what they said she was doing. So I think I have some picks in this upcoming race, and that the one we're doing next is the Gain Railway Stakes. It's a Group 2 for 2-year-olds on Saturday. It's a 3:05 Ireland time, and this is a field of, well, it looks like right now up there 14 horses. So
14 are going to go right now.
Yeah, so yeah, here they are right here, and then it's how long is this race? 6 furlongs, so it's a sprint, and we saw with the Ascot that their sprinting is a little bit different than our sprinting. Our horses get to the lead, they tend to stay there. There was a lot of off the pace stuff at 6 furlongs at Ascot. Is that how we can expect it? Is it Ireland a heavy muddy track too?
You're going to see a similar scenario in this race, but we do have a clear front runner who we liked at Royal Ascot, who's right back, being wheeled back real quick to run here too.
Mm-hmm.
And but my top choice is also one that raced at Royal Ascot. That's the number 9, Masito. It dwelt at the gate, so it was just stood there and then decided to run and ended up finishing 4th. But frankly, the race was done before that. The first 2 races, he won at 5.5 furlongs, and he placed second in a 6 furlong race.
Mm-hmm.
And in the comment line, it said he was no match for the winner in that Group 3 race. It's a Group 2, so a little difference, but remember, he just off a decent race in terms of the race quality, but not necessarily how he ran.
Uh-huh.
And I think they're looking for bigger things from this horse, and he's an all sprinter. His sire never won over a mile. Dam didn't do much better. I'm just hoping that he doesn't get left at the gate like he did last time, and he runs a better race.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, the odds makers have him listed at 10-1.
Yeah, right
and
here.
The forecast is 8-1.
All right.
My next choice is number 8. Go Bears Go.
Go Bears Go. 2 Chicago guys can't have a Go Bears Go on the card without him being in our picks.
Well, and we liked him at Royal Ascot.
Just missed.
He just missed. I mean, he was nosed. I mean, it was it took a while for them to look at that photo before they declared the winner. In this race, last race, he raced in the Group of 7 on the far side. So he beat all those horses, but didn't win. And overall, I think the grandstand side that day was doing better, and that's where the winner came from. I don't think the distance is an issue at all for him. He's going to stretch out from 5 to 6. The offspring for the Dam have won at races from 5 furlongs to 1.5 miles. And then the sire was a really top-notch miler.
Mm-hmm.
So 6 furlongs should be within his wheelhouse. I do think he will be on the lead. It's just a matter of can he hold on.
That's it.
Yeah, my other choice was scratched. So
your other scratch. All right, so all 4 of mine made it in this race. I'm kind of surprised. So I had Dr. Zempf, and just to be fair, everybody, I did Forrest Gump handicapping. I had no idea what the odds were, so and believe me, looking at their programs, their past performances is a little bit different than ours, and it's sort of confusing to me. So I was just kind of just kind of reading through the comments, looking at their history at the track, some real like basic beginner handicapping, and that's just the only thing I really could do. And then I did a little bit of research online, so I landed on Dr. Zempf as my top choice, and it looks like he's the morning line favorite at 5-2. He had beat previous winners in his debut, so I like that, and I expect that he'll improve in his second race off the start. Then I have, and so he's the number 6 horse, it looks like. And then number 5, Castle Star is my second choice. He's 11-2. It looks like he's the second choice of the program. I should be the line maker.
In the betting forecast, Castle Star is 3-1, and Dr. Zeff is 7-2.
Okay, so those two will likely be the favorites.
The two top horses right now in terms of the bettors.
That's funny because I guess I do this at home too when I handicap. A lot of times, and I do it without odds. A lot of times when I go back and look, when I open up the package, like the box of chocolates, that's why I call it Forrest Gump handicapping, because you don't know what you're going to get when you handicap without the odds. So many times my odds, a lot of times my picks line up with the odds maker. I'm like, man, maybe I should get a job as an odds maker. Then I have Catamosto. He ran in the Ascot last time out, ran a respectable 4th. I think it's a little bit of a class drop here, so he moves up. And I also have Go Bears Go. From my reading about is it Curragh it's called?
Yeah.
That it tends to be a little bit of a heavy track. Is that right?
Well, right now it's rated good to firm.
Okay.
So I'm going with that at the moment unless something changes. The last comment on here that I saw was good, and the placement of the stalls will be in the center of the track, so that's where they'll start from.
Okay, so in that case, if it's a hard track, then Go Bears Go, it should be near the front, right? Because it's a front runner last time out, and we'll try to wire this field. Let's see if the Go Bears Go, the Chicago horse, can get it done couldn't get it done in England, maybe can get it done in Ireland. We'll see. So now we're going to move on to the Irish Derby, but you say is it called a Derby over there? Did you say?
Yeah.
Irish Derby. All right. And this race has a field of, looks like 10 to me, and
11.
11. All right. Oh, yes. 11. Woodsworth right there, number 11. So horse in here that I didn't know I was a fan of. He's racing last week. That's Hurricane Lane. And again, I didn't do any, I didn't have the benefit of odds. So I'm going to be interested to see what the odds are on my horses here when we go through our picks. But who do you like in the Irish Derby?
I'm landed on the favorite, number 4, High Definition. Right now, the quotes are it's 7-4. He won his first 2 races, won at a Group 2 level, and it was an eventful run, that win. And he was taken back. He made a move at the 3 furlong ford, lost some ground, then made up some ground, and then the comment was he looked like he was laboring home. Well, that's a really weird race. It was interesting that the owners decided to not go into the English Derby or in the Royal Ascot meet, but they obviously their target is this race, and I would that it's got a little time off, not big but enough, and I think after the last race I don't blame them. The distance shouldn't be an issue at all. I think he's going to gain something off that last race, and the dam has produced 3 runners, and they all have won at distance of 1 mile or more.
Right. So, this is a mile and 4 furlongs, so basically a mile and a half.
Mile and a half, roughly. Yeah. So, based on that, on the pedigree side, that definitely should be able to handle this without any problem. My number 2 choice, which is now listed at anywhere from 12-1 to 20-1, is number 3, Earlsworth.
Number 3, it's just like number 2 here.
No, I'm sorry, number 2.
That's okay. That's what I'm here for, Tom. I'm the conductor.
We just want to confuse our audience. We're doing
and me. It's easy to confuse me.
Well, this was an interesting horse. He won in maiden in March, then won a Group 3 again, and he won on soft to heavy going. The comment line was he was very comfortable in winning. And in that race, he was pushed at about the 2 furlong marker, kept inside, and just really just ran the race, a nice race and a very useful race. Obviously this is a 3-year-old race. And the thing that I think that is interesting about this horse is that he's a May fold. So he just turned 3. And I think they took a little time with this horse and let it develop as some of the other ones that were a little earlier foals. So that should be interesting there if you'd like a nice long shot play.
And that's the 2-horse Eastwood.
Yeah. And then, the dam has 3 runners. They're all are winners, and they all won at distances of 1.25 miles to 2.5 miles. So distance should not be an issue based on pedigree. And I did take number 5, Hurricane Lane.
Hey.
Yeah. Not that the views. I mean, he at post time. I thought he was going to be the favorite. But right now he's sitting at the third choice. Anywhere from 6-1 to 13-2, 11-2. I mean, so it's all a little bit all over the place.
So right around 5-1 to 6-1, somewhere in there seems to be the consensus.
Yeah, I mean, his English Derby. Well, he dwelt at the gate. We've heard that before. He was pushed along to the front, and he had 0 left after that race. Now, another note that I went and looked up was he lost a front shoe in that race.
Yeah, I read that too.
So he dwelt. He lost a front shoe, and he still finished 3rd. That's not so bad.
No, not so bad at all. Strong horse.
So, I mean, obviously they skipped the Royal Ascot meet to run this horse here. To me, I thought he'd be the favorite, but High Definition, Mojo Stars listed as number 2.
Second choice.
Yeah, and I'm kind of surprised that you're getting some money. You're getting an okay price. Now, obviously our pools are different than their pools, but I really thought this would be your favorite. And I think, he's got all the chances in the world. And just keep the shoe on and not get out of the gate.
Not asking for too much.
Yeah. The dam has produced 3 runners. They're all winners, and they've won at distances of 1 mile to 1.5 miles. So this is well within his line of
within
breeding.
His grasp. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he should. I think he's going to be very competitive here. Again, I thought it'd be the favorite, but what do I know?
So here's what I know. I know that I have High Definition as my top pick again. This is a horse that won both of his starts at this track, so I think it could be a horse for the course. I have Max Sweeney, who is 8-1, 7-1, somewhere in there as my second choice. It's what I term an all or nothing horse. These horses tend, and what that means is they either win or they kind of miss the board. And that's what he has, 4 wins and 10 starts, but 3 of those wins are here at this track. So again, a horse for a course. Again, back to some basics. How does the horse run at the track? How does he stack up against some others? Is he up or down a class? I feel like the horse fits pretty well here. And then I have my Hurricane Lane. As I said, I'm a big fan of Hurricane Lane. And the Royal Ascot, we identified one of the races that Hurricane Lane was in as a key race, and a lot of horses that finished behind him had really good Royal Ascots. I think there was 1 or 2 winners out of that. So that's it was a key race that he won. Keep a shoe on, get out of the gate. He maybe has a shot to win here. And then I agree with you on the long shot, Earlswood. This is a horse that, looking at its performance lines, I just get the feeling that Earlswood is one of those horses that's on an upswing. And that's what I think you want to see in your horses, are horses that are improving in form and getting better heading into the race. That's the look to me of Earlswood, and that's my long shot. So my Forrest Gump bag of chocolates here wasn't favorite. Thankfully, I'm happy about that. So Now we're going to move off to Sunday, I think. At first, I thought there was 2 Sunday races. Then I thought there was 1 Sunday race. Then I didn't think there was any Sunday races.
I did my part to confuse you.
And again, it doesn't take very much to do that. Not anymore. Hit too many times in the head as a kid. You know, my mom was not always thrilled to death with me, to say the least. So this one we're going to be looking at now is I have no idea what the first word is, Alwasmiyah, pretty poly stakes. It's a Group 1 on Sunday, 3:40 at Irish time. And this is 1 mile and 2 furlongs. So in our parlance, that's a mile and a quarter. Right?
Absolutely.
All right. So what do you like here, Tom?
This is, I thought it was an interesting race in terms of the top 4 or 5 horses. And I had a little trouble pulling one out of here because I liked a couple of them, but I landed on number 5, Thundering Knights. I thought it was interesting that they shipped it to Belmont for her last race.
Mm-hmm.
She finished second.
To Mean Mary, who is a very good horse.
Oh, yeah. She's run against Colts, and she finished second in there. Broome, who ran third at Royal Ascot. And she just missed by a nose, too, we should point out, at the Belmont race. So, I mean, she was definitely within her wheelhouse. She won a Group 3 last year, but she's never won anything higher than that. So that's where... But if she's improving, and it appears that she is, and losing to Mean Mary is not any shame.
No.
And I think she likes this distance, and I think this is a nice spot for her to pick up a Group 1.
Yeah, she's 7-2, 4-1, somewhere in that line right now. Anyway.
Yeah, roughly the third choice.
Yep, she is.
Number 1, Cayenne Pepper is my second choice. It just has one run this year. Was within reach of the leaders, and then asked to run about 2 furlongs out and gave way. Fitness level in my mind. This is one that appears to have needed the race. Last year she ran in 1-2 Group 3 races. She finished 10th in the Breeders' Cup. She was never in that race. She's won at distances of 7 furlongs to 1.5 miles. To me, fitness isn't a question. And my other question to me is, did she peak last year?
Mm-hmm. But she had a great year last year. 4 wins, 3 seconds in 9 races. That's pretty solid.
Yeah, and some big money.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the form says, she should be back to her old self with this race. But I always wonder with mares that they just decided that they're not that interested anymore and want to be mother.
Mm-hmm.
My final choice is number 2, Ipana Plays. It's won 2 races in a row at Group 3 and then run a Group 2 in Ireland. So moving up the ladder, so to speak. She's also won in Group Company before. The last race was really impressive, and she rode out beautifully in that race. She joined the leaders about halfway, and then just kept moving and cleared the rest at the final furlong and won very comfortably, I thought. It was not big margin, but it was enough. And she's never raced under 1 mile in her entire career, which is, to me, unusual for here, but not over there. And I really think she's going to make a nice run in here. And right now, odds of 4-1 seems to be about the right number in there. So I think you're getting a little bit. I think you're going to get a little bit of a price on this one.
Mm-hmm. Well, neither one of us picked the favorite. Looks like right now, Santa Barbara. She's 5-2 or 9-4, a little bit under 2-1, depending upon which book you're looking at. For me, I have Cayenne Pepper. Maybe she wants to be a mom. I don't know. But if she can get back to her 2024, her 4-year-old debut wasn't that bad. So I expect that she'll be better in her second start off the break, as she'll show a little bit more interest this time around. Thundering Knights, as you mentioned, just missed against Mean Mary, who's a really good horse over here. So the 1 and the 5 are my first 2 picks. I had Empress Josephine, but she didn't make the race. And then my final pick is Shale. She bombed last time out, which is never really good. I don't really like horses that really stink it up last time out, but she's raced at Curragh twice, finished first and finished second. I'm a big fan of horses for the courses. And if you remember at the beginning screen, they had a picture of the Curragh, which kind of looks like a Swiss Army blade knife to me, the way the track lays out here. I'll bring it back up again real quick so you can see. So at this particular course, it looks to me like you better have some liking for the course, because it looks like all over the place. No question about it.
It's an interesting course, to say the least. They have over 1,500 acres.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like they're starting out in a field sometimes. I mean, it looks, when they start some of these races, and you're like, okay, and they're so far out. Like the 1.25 mile race, which we have, you can see it's like almost the farthest one away from the grandstand side.
Mm-hmm.
And the turns remind me a little of Belmont for the outside courses, and then the inner course is a much tighter course. The 6 furlong race will be run it slightly turns, and then it's a straight. So,
and then I read on the thing, it's uphill, downhill.
Yeah, it rolls. Yeah, well,
there's waves in it.
Like Ascot, they all have some undulation to them, so it requires a little more running hill. And as I said last time we talked about Royal Ascot, Kentucky Downs is really the only track in this country that's comparable.
Yes, the only one that they just went out in a field and just put a fence around and said, okay, we're going to run horses. For sure. All right, Tom. Well, that wraps up our first weekly international tips. Make sure you head on over to Horse Racing Radar. Last night we had on Matt Hook from Thistle Downs, a little bit of technical difficulties, but great picks for the Ohio Derby tomorrow at Thistledown. Sean and I will be back in a little bit, I think at 12 o'clock Central, 1 o'clock Eastern, to talk about 2 races at Churchill Downs. Stephen Foster, and I don't even want to try to pronounce the other one right now, some French name, something Alice or something along those lines.
Les Fleuris. It's
Les Fleuris, which has
Latruska is wheeling right back, so it'll be interesting to see.
And those are both winning your in races for the upcoming Breeders' Cup in November. Until 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, wherever you are. Thanks for joining us today, and good luck at the international races.